Hey, I'm Helen from Trail & Kale, and today I'm reviewing the VIAKIX Acadia women's hiking sandals. First, let's start with a quick spin round. If you haven't heard of VIAKIX before, they're an American family-owned company specializing in women's hiking and walking sandals. VIAKIX differentiate their products by really focusing on making these sandals outdoor and adventure ready, but at an affordable price point. I also think they've done a great job of making these sandals look pretty feminine, even though they're ready for hiking on trails. So in this review, we're going to cover the sandals, the key design features of them, what their intended use is for, and also the comfort and how they come up in terms of sizing. Okay, so let's start with the key design features. These sandals are made up of effectively a kind of webbing upper, a foam, fairly firm midsole, and then a kind of more rugged, kind of like a tire outer sole, which is designed to give you grip when you're on trails and uneven terrain. So the first thing you notice about these sandals is how adjustable they are. So they've got 3 hook and loop or Velcro straps here, and then they've got one around the front of your foot and one that goes around your heel as well. So what this means is if you've got kind of unusual shaped feet, then if you've got more points of adjustment, then generally you should find it easier to get a good fit. And I know, talking from personal experience, my feet are really shallow, so they're kind of very low here, and I often find that in some shoes and sandals I end up with a lot of space above the top of my foot in the shoe or in a sandal. These Acadia hiking sandals have these 3 adjustable straps here, which mean that I can get it tighter down on the top of my foot. So I just do that. You can adjust them a fairly long way to get a good fit there. The same thing applies for the heel and also the area around the front of your ankle. These again easily undo and you can adjust them, and the same on the heel. This is also really great if your feet tend to swell when you're wearing them throughout the day. Whether that's because you're hiking and you're getting hot, or just generally you know, if your feet tend to swell in the afternoons like some people's do, you can easily adjust them. And also, being sandals, you're naturally going to potentially get a few stones underneath your feet, so it's a real pain to have to take a shoe completely off to remove a stone. These ones you don't have to do that because you can just quickly open the Velcro and then let the stone out. Okay, so next up we've got the midsole here, which is the bit that your foot effectively stands on. If you can see here, it's fairly firm but also kind of cushioned, so it gives a good amount, in my opinion. For a hiking sandal, you don't want them to be too squishy, and so these provide a good amount of support and stability. If you're wearing them on uneven rocks and things, your feet aren't sinking well into the foam here, so I really like that about them, and I can wear them all day without any discomfort at all, so that's a big credit to these sandals. And then finally, in terms of kind of key construction, you can see the sole here that I showed you a bit earlier. This is a lot harder and pretty durable. So I've had these sandals for a few weeks and have been wearing them pretty much every day, and they look kind of like new right at this point. So, you know, I think that might be different if you were doing some really long distance hiking in them. I'd suggest that they're probably more for like day hikes and just general everyday wear. And because they are pretty elegant and feminine for hiking sandals, you can get away with wearing them with your everyday clothes, assuming you wear kind of casual clothes, not a suit. Okay, so next up, what did VIAKIX design their Acadia hiking sandals for, and how do I like to use them? So the clue's in the name. These sandals are perfectly great for walking, but they are designed so that you can wear them hiking. And I think your best option when you're taking them hiking is that if you use them for day hikes or spending an hour or 2 on a trail, then these sandals would be perfect for that. They're designed so that you can get them wet and you can use them for water sports, or maybe you're just crossing a river while you're on your hike. So they're pretty versatile, and the same applies if you can just wear them for like your everyday use. You know, if you're wearing them in the rain, then they're designed to give you grip on the bottom even though it's wet out there, and they're going to be standing up to, you know, all the elements that you throw at them. Another great use for these sandals would be if you're going traveling, or maybe you're going backpacking and you want some lightweight hiking sandals to have in your pack to wear at the end of the day around camp, or just traveling in a hot place. They're pretty lightweight, so I weighed one of these, so this is a US women's size 7, and it weighed about 8 pounds, which is pretty light considering it's got a pretty sturdy rubber sole here. So let's talk about comfort and sizing next. I mentioned earlier that I find them really comfortable having worn them all day on a mixture of terrain and also just generally going about my everyday business, whether that's, you know, walking the dog or going to the shop or just kind of around house and in the yard. So, you know, I give them top marks for comfort, really can't fault them. Again, if you've got kind of unusually shaped feet and you really struggle to find sandals that are comfortable, it's definitely worth checking these out because of all those points of adjustment that I mentioned earlier. It really makes such a big difference, especially when it's a sandal and you're not wearing any socks to pad your feet. The shoe or the sandal has to really fit you snugly but not provide any risk of blisters or hot spots. So next up, sizing. These VIAKIX Acadia sandals come in full sizes only. So that's the first thing to point out. But never fear if you're normally a half size, because I would recommend that you size down. So I'm normally a US 7.5, and these arrived, I ordered a size 7, and actually I've got them on pretty much, this is as tight as I normally wear them, so I've got them on pretty much the tightest setting that you can get away with. So I wouldn't want a sandal to be any bigger than this, because then I wouldn't be able to get that tightness over the top of my foot. And when I wear them, as you can see in the pictures, my toes come to a really good part at the front, so they're not really hanging over the edge and they're not really far back under the straps. They're kind of perfectly in the middle, so I'm protected from kicking stones and things. So it's a shame that you can't get them in half sizes, but actually, given VIAKIX offer free returns if you haven't worn them in the first 30 days, then you may as well just order a pair, size down if you're a half size, and see how you get on with the fit. Okay, so that's a quick roundup of the key features, uses, and sizing considerations for these VIAKIX Acadia sandals. If you're looking for a pair of lightweight, kind of feminine women's hiking sandals, then I definitely recommend you check out VIAKIX. Not just the Acadias, but other sandals in their range that they have on their website, and they also sell through Amazon. I'll pop a link below if you want to go and check those out. The last thing that I haven't mentioned, and something that we don't normally talk about as like a key point in our reviews, but it's really important in the case of these, is that they're really affordable. So if you're on a budget or you really don't want to spend a small fortune on a pair of super technical, adventurous hiking sandals, you just want something you can wear, you know, every day, whatever you're doing, that'll stand up to it. These are perfect, and the retail price for these is around $50, so a lot less than you might expect to pay for some other brands of hiking sandals. So to sum up this video review of the Acadia hiking sandals from VIAKIX, lightweight, really easy to adjust, affordable price point, feminine look too, definitely recommend you go and check them out. Thanks very much for watching this video review. I hope you found it helpful and learnt more about these VIAKIX Acadia sandals. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.